you ever see someone and just think, wow, they look healthy? It's not about being perfect. It's this kind of energy, a vitality they give off. Well, what if I told you that how you look, your skin, your hair, even your posture, isn't just on the surface? It's actually a dashboard, giving you a live feed of everything happening on the inside. Okay, let's get into it. And this right here is the big idea. It's a total shift in thinking. See, most people try to force changes from the outside in, with all sorts of creams or crazy diets. We're going to flip that completely on its head. The goal isn't to fight for a healthy appearance, it's to fix the root cause so that your body just expresses health naturally, all on its own. All right, so first step, let's really lean into this idea of your body as a car's dashboard. You've got all these little lights and gauges. Well, your appearance is exactly the same. It's giving you constant real-time feedback about what's going on under the hood. What's so wild to me is just how connected all of this is. It's not just one thing. Your appearance is literally a mirror reflecting your sleep quality, your stress levels, your hormonal state, even down to how well your cells are making energy. When you get these things aligned, things like great skin and good muscle tone, they aren't things you have to chase anymore. They just happen. It's about working with your biology, not waging a war against it. So where do we even begin? Well, we start with the two most powerful levers we can pull. Think of this as the master switch for your entire biological operating system, the light you see and the sleep you get. These two things together set your body's master clock, what's known as your circadian rhythm. Let's break it down like this. Morning light is like the manager showing up at the factory, turning on the lights and yelling, okay, everyone, it's 7 a.m. Here's the production schedule for the day. It sets the timing for everything. Then nighttime sleep is the overnight crew that comes in to actually do all the deep cleaning, the repairs, the restocking, all based on the schedule the manager laid out. You absolutely need both. One sets the plan, the other executes it. Okay, so how do we actually use this information? It's ridiculously simple. Sometime in the first hour after you wake up, just get outside. That's it. For like 10, maybe 20 minutes. No sunglasses. Just let that light hit your eyes. That simple act sends a massive signal to your brain that says the day has started. This one habit helps sync up your hormones and metabolism for the whole day, and believe it or not, it's one of the best things you can do to get better sleep at night. And of course, there's the other half of the equation, sleep. If you've ever had a terrible night's sleep, you know that it shows up on your face almost immediately. Puffiness, acne, dark circles, that's because you literally skipped your body's nightly repair shift. So the goal is consistency. A cool, dark, quiet room, and trying to dim the bright lights an hour or so before bed, these are powerful signals that tell your body, okay, time to shut it down and start the repairs. All right, now we're going to zoom in a layer. We've set the master clock with light and sleep. So let's see how that clock directly plugs into your body's hormonal control panel, because this is where things like your skin quality, your energy levels, and your muscle tone are really dialed in. Okay, whoa, don't try to memorize this chart. Seriously. The only point of showing you this is to hammer home one idea. Everything is connected. Your gut health, your stress levels, your thyroid, it's all part of this incredibly complex web that determines your final hormonal state. You can't just pull on one string. You have to see it as a single amazing system. So what happens when that master clock we talked about gets all messed up? Well, your body is smart, but it's also kind of primitive. It doesn't know what's going on. It just knows that something is off. It perceives that confusion as a danger, a threat, and so it hits the big red panic button, flooding your system with the main stress hormone, cortisol. Your body is basically putting itself on high alert. And this table just lays out the downstream disaster perfectly. When cortisol is high all the time, it's like a wrecking ball. It crushes testosterone and thyroid function, the very hormones you need for energy and building things. It actually promotes more estrogen. And here's the kicker you can see in the mirror. It directly tells your body to break down skin and muscle tissue and to hold on to water, which gives you that puffy, inflamed look. This is your body in full-on survival mode, not growth and repair mode. Okay, you ready? We're about to zoom in even deeper. We've gone from habits to hormones, and now we're going all the way down to the microscopic level. We're talking about the little power plants inside every single one of your cells, the mitochondria, because your hormonal state directly impacts how well these tiny engines can actually run. The field that studies this is called bioenergetics. It's really just a fancy word for figuring out how your body takes energy from the food you eat and turns it into a form of energy your cells can actually use, called ATP. I mean, every single thing your body does, from having a thought to healing a cut, is powered by this process. It's fundamental. So how does this work? Forget chemistry class for a second. The best way to think about it is like a microscopic hydroelectric dam that lives inside your cells. Electrons, which are carrying energy from your food, are like water flowing down a river. They get passed through a series of gates, and this flow creates a ton of pressure. And then that built up pressure is used to spin a tiny molecular turbine. And that spinning turbine is what cranks out ATP, your body's energy currency. This is literally where the energy for life comes from. It's amazing. And here it is. This is the crucial link. When your body is swimming in that high cortisol stress soup, this beautiful, elegant process gets messy. That cellular dam starts to leak electrons. So now you've got two problems. You're getting way less power output because the water's leaking out, and that leaking water is causing a ton of damage to the dam itself. It's the same in your cells. Less energy and more damage. Okay, deep breath. Let's zoom all the way back out and put this entire puzzle together. We're going to trace the chain of events from your simple daily habits all the way to what you see in the mirror, from electrons to expression. All right, let's walk through the whole domino effect, step by step. It all starts right here, the root of it all. Simple, foundational things, your light habits and your sleep habits. This is the first domino. And when those habits are off, the very first thing that happens is your master clock breaks. You get circadian disruption. Your body basically loses its sense of time. It's confused. It doesn't know if it should be awake or asleep, active or in repair mode. Now, your body interprets this internal chaos as a sign of external danger. It thinks something must be really wrong, so it triggers a system-wide stress response. And that means it starts pumping out cortisol to keep you on high alert, ready for a threat. And that hormonal stress isn't just a feeling. It's a physical reality that travels all the way down to those tiny power plants in your cells. That high cortisol environment gums up the works, making that elegant hydroelectric dam leaky and inefficient. And here we are, right back where we started. This is the final visible outcome. Your cellular engines are sputtering, so you have less energy to build and repair things, and you have more damage from all those leaks. This is what you actually see. The puffiness, the bad skin, the low muscle tone, the fatigue. It's not a bunch of separate problems. It is the single predictable end of a very clear chain reaction. And this, right here, might be the most important thing to grasp. When your body is in this state, it's not failing, it's not broken. It's actually protecting you. It is intelligently and deliberately shutting down expensive projects like building muscle or creating perfect skin because it thinks it needs to save all its resources to survive a threat. Those bad signs are actually signals that your body's survival programming is working perfectly. So I'll just leave you with this thought. We spend so much time and energy tweaking the settings on our phones, our computers, our cars, just to get them to run a tiny bit better. So the question is, are you giving that same level of care to the most basic fundamental settings that tune your own biology? Because once you get those right, the system has this incredible built-in ability to optimize itself.